Hey everybody, just finished watch the Bob Marley movie. Just come back from cinema in New York City. Watch the Bob Marley movie. Um, it's kind of late, but I say want to talk about it a little bit before I go to bed. Mhm. Oh, no, not for Instagram. Instagram live feed, yeah, them fidgety sometime. So yeah, um, put up on Instagram. Just finished watch the Bob Marley movie. So I say let me come talk about it little before I go to my bed. Um, watch it in New York City. Oh, I'm tired, but I say come alive a little bit. Come talk about it. Um, watched it in New York City. Um, at AMC Cinema. Just watch it. So I say I come talk a little bit about it before we go sleep. It's a bit late now. Everybody must have gone to them bed. Me don't know. But anyways, when the movie finish, see it, some of there on the screen. I bring my Jamaican flag and all of that. I went to have a jolly good time. I was like waving my flag in the cinema. Me a dance and me a go on with beer things. Honestly, I want people to go watch the movie. I want people to go watch the movie for themselves, and make up their own mind. Hold on, let me see if my honestly. Okay, so I want people to go watch the movie. I want people to go. So yeah, so that's me there at the movie at the cinema. Uh, yeah, want people to go watch the movie for themselves. Make up their own mind and decision what they think about the movie. But for me, I am going to give the movie a 5 out of 10. Yeah. And to be fair, I was chatting to some people when the movie was finished. Some people give it a 8, some people give it a 7. One woman was angry because she says she sip on Bob lap that day in the movie. So she did pissed off about that. Um, I am disappointed that they didn't go to Africa. I'm disappointed about that because Africa meant a lot to Bob. Africa was Bob's heart and his soul. He loved Africa. And that's why Rita went to Ghana and buy property and was living in Ghana because, I said, Bob said Africa, film got their Africa, you know what I mean? Bob identified as a Jamaican and African, so I think you know, Ziggy should have been to Africa and I spoke to somebody who knows Ziggy them very well. and was there a lot when the movie they film. I say, did Ziggy go Africa? And they must say, them not know. I spoke to somebody who. Yeah, and I think I'm just disappointed about that. They did mention Africa. Africa is mentioned in the movie, but they haven't gone to film there. And I don't see any promotion about the movie for Africa. I don't see Ziggy and his people like they're going to Africa. I don't see any of that. And I know Ziggy know Bob more than me. Rita know Bob more than me. But I think all of us know that Africa meant everything to Bob. And if Bob was alive and Bob was doing this movie, Bob would have gone to Africa with a movie. Africa would be his number one place to be. And as I said, Africa is mentioned in the movie, but they didn't go there. They didn't go there. Ziggy didn't go there to film. They didn't. And Africans are going to be disappointed in that because African people love Bob. African people, Zimbabwe was a big thing. Um, um, one of the lady that I was talking to, the lady that was angry, she said Bob paid his own money to go to Zimbabwe and help the Zimbabwean people. I mean, Bob did sing about Zimbabwe and Africa na liberate Zimbabwe. I don't know why this important factor of Bob's life wasn't shown in the movie. Um, one of the lady who was talking to, because it's like a lot of Jamaican group of us, we were just chatting about the movie, and some people were angry, some people were frustrated. So everybody was just talking. We all gathered up after the movie and we were just talking about it. And as I said, I'm giving the movie a 5. People should go watch the movie for themselves and make their own conclusion about the movie because, as I said, I see some people give it an 8. The group that we were talking in, one woman give it an 8, one woman give it a 7. Um, I am giving it a 5 out of 10. We're talking about out of 10. And just first of all, the movie was done, and I'm like, "Where's the movie?" The movie was done, and I'm like, "Okay, where's the movie?" I was asking for the movie, like, "Where is it? Where's the movie? Where is it?" I mean, like, I'm like, "Where's the movie?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm lost." Okay, where's the movie? I was confused. The movie was done, and I was confused. Like, where's the movie? So I was like, "Hmm." So that was shocking to me, and yeah, but Ziggy, I don't know why you leave out Africa, Ziggy. I don't know why you did that. Um, I can tell you the lady who was angry, who said her father brought her and she sat on Bob's lap when she was a child. She's pissed off because she never seen another movie. And I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, that's super funny. Basically, that's the thing. Ziggy forgot to go find one pick there, put it on them lap and say, "Are you that?" That was very funny to me, but she's like super mad, whatever. Um, but she made a good point, about Africa. I mean, I was talking to one person about Africa before, and then she was like talking about it, and I'm like, I was just talking to somebody about Africa. Um, Well, she said that the reason she think Ziggy didn't include Africa because Ziggy's making the movie for white people. That's what she said. I don't know. Um, I love that the movie was about Bob and Rita Marley. I love that because Rita had been through a lot, and I love that. Even though it didn't show a lot about them, he said the story wasn't. One thing come out of it though, and I'm going to apologize because somebody said on that Rita didn't cheat on Bob, and I defended Rita. Oh shit! And in the movie, Bob said to Rita, "I know you have this man at Jamaica," and Rita said to Bob, "All this woman that you have." So she just say, "You do things, so me I do thing too." So I mean, that's what I picked up from that part. I hope I'm not wrong, because Bob is saying it. I know you're effing somebody in Jamaica, and she's like, she didn't deny it in the movie. She was like, so all them women and all them kids the way you have. So I guess she did go do something too while Baba doing thing. I guess. So I am apologizing for anybody who I said Rita didn't have an affair as well when Bob was alive, because the movie kind of suggests that. It didn't go in depth, and I think the movie should have go. I mean, I guess I know that Ziggy didn't want the movie to be too. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want it to be too sensitive for his mom or whatever. But you Ziggy, I'm talking to you, Ziggy, that you make your dad is a very complex person. His life is, I mean, come on, the man have like 12 kids, 11 kids, I don't know. So you have to, if you're going to make a biopic about your father, you have to make it that some of the complexity of his life shown in this movie if you wanted to do a better job. I mean, I know that you filmed a lot. I know you did, and apparently, from what I understand, the movie was cut down very small, so a lot of the scenes were taken out, from what I understood. Um, but the movie was about Rita and Bob and the kids and his music, but it still didn't expand into that. It just brush over everything, and it just literally brush over everything. It didn't really go in depth. I'm shocked that the movie started when Bob when Bob got shot. Like that's like way after, yeah, yeah. I think again, I'm not a producer. I understand that, I was shocked to see that um Brad Pitt is one of the executive producers. Brad Pitt is part of the movie. I said, oh, that's why Brad Pitt show up, because he's part of the movie. Now I see that now. Um, Now I see that now why Brad Pitt was there, because Brad Pitt is part of the movie. So I see why Brad Pitt was there. Um, I see why Brad Pitt was there. Um, but yeah, I yeah I think Ziggy should have done more. But you know what? I don't want to say too much because I want to show respect for Ziggy, and I know that even though Ziggy was, um, even though Ziggy was a producer, was working on the film. I know, Ziggy had a lot of people around him, um, you know, or funding this movie, and their expectation and the editors and all of those things. I understand that, and maybe even though Ziggy had control over a lot of stuff, he didn't have the final say about editing. I'm thinking, and for that I feel bad because for him, because when you have other people funding your stuff and they're making executive decisions on what they feel gonna appeal to certain group of people where that they're trying to appeal to. And I think that what the lady who was pissed off, she said Bob said Ziggy didn't make this movie for Jamaican or black people. Ziggy made this movie for white people. And I don't know if I agree, disagree. I mean, the cinema was full. There's a lot of Jamaicans were in the cinema. Jamaicans tonight, and when I watched the 7:30, and there's a lot of Jamaicans that were there. A lot of black people were there. I mean, some Caucasians were there too, but people came out in force to watch this movie. And even when my movie was finished, I was hanging around out there, whatever, and I see some Caucasian people going to watch the film and whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. I am giving the movie a 5 out of 10. Mainly because they didn't go to Africa. Maybe that movie didn't go in depth into anything. It just kind of just brushed over stuff. It didn't even go in depth with Rita and Bob Marley complexity. I mean, I know Bob said it's a love story, but their love was complicated. Rita and Bob love was complicated. Like it was a complicated affair they had. I mean, it was a very complicated affair. So you can't just brush over that. You have to really show it. And I know, I mean, when Cindy Briggs person is, she's gonna pull up, she's gonna make her head ball like mine. She's gonna tear her hair out of her head because she didn't even I mean, I didn't even know she was in the movie. Somebody said, you didn't see her with the sash? That's it. They glimpsed her and she gone. Because I was talking to somebody I know personally, and they're friends with Ziggy, and they saw the movie before the movie even came out in Jamaica. They was part of the screening with Ziggy, a private screening with Ziggy and whatever. And I'm like, they said to me, Cindy's not in the movie, and I'm like, there's a girl that played her in the movie. And they said, what? She's not in there. And it's kind of funny. I didn't see her either. It's kind of funny. And then when I say I did saw her, group of Jamaican that were talking, they said they show her a little bit of glimpse with a sash. What I saw though, I saw where while Bob was talking to Rita, where Rita was in America, he was in England. There was a woman with him at the phone box. So I'm thinking that could be Julian's mom, you know? Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna beat Ziggy because I beat Ziggy so bad with the whole Palestine thing and everything. And to be honest, I know people who are very close to Ziggy. Ziggy just don't know that, but I know people who are very, 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 very close to him. And I don't want to beat him for that because I feel, even I have a complicated, unknown relationship with Ziggy that he doesn't know about. You know what I mean? Because I know people who are very, very close to him, who are friends with him actually, and Ziggy doesn't know that I know them, and I said, "Listen, don't tell Ziggy that I know you." Blah blah blah. So I have a very complicated in my head. So I don't want to bash Ziggy because I totally get it, but I think, and I said I understand that when people are spending their money, but you know what? I would say to Ziggy, be more like your father. Be more like your father, because in the movie you see all these Caucasian men who were funding stuff. They weren't telling Bob what to do. They weren't. They tried to tell Bob, even with the Exodus movie cover. They were trying to say that wasn't good enough. That showed in the movie, and they had to chase Bob. They had to chase him. Bob didn't. They didn't dictate to Bob. That's what the movie showed. They didn't dictate to Bob what Bob did. Bob wasn't chasing them. They were chasing Bob. They were like at Bob's beck and call. That's what the movie showed. That these people, and I think maybe Ziggy should have used the same way. That, listen, this is my father movie, and maybe they're gonna say different time now. You know what I mean? Maybe they're gonna say, if you don't want to do it like this, we have to pull the money or type. Or maybe Ziggy. I don't know. I don't know. More should have been done with this movie, and it could have been a little bit longer. It's Bob Marley. It's a biopic. It could have been for 3 hours. There's like Lord of the Rings, who are like a whole heap of hours, and all of them films where you're going to sit down for like 3 hours and watch them films. So this is a biopic about Bob Marley. They could have made it a bit longer, but definitely Africa, Zimbabwe, Africa. That I don't know how you didn't put, because I was asking the person who, because they were with Ziggy the whole time when the movie was being filmed, and I'm like, did Ziggy go to Africa? Did Ziggy? I keep asking, did Ziggy go to Africa? Did Ziggy go to Africa? And they couldn't give me a clear answer if Ziggy did went to Africa. And I'm like, I hope he did, because that's going to be bad if Ziggy didn't go to Africa. But Ziggy did not go to. I mean, I don't know if he went, but they take it out of the movie. But in the movie, Ziggy did not go to Africa. They mentioned Africa, and that's very sad. It's very, very sad, because there's no way Bob would have made this film if he was alive today and not going to Africa. Africa was Bob's home, his heart, his everything. And even Rita was living in Ghana. So even Rita should have put, because Bob did mention in the movie that, okay, the Marita can will go to Africa and settle down and have them life in Africa, which Rita did. She did that. She went to Ghana, lived in Ghana, have property and all of those things. At least they should have saw something about Africa. But again, I said I don't want to talk too badly about this film because of my respect for Ziggy and Bob and Rita and stuff. I don't want to say too bad about it, but what I'm going to say is that people should go watch it. Go watch the movie. Make your own decision about this movie. Don't listen to what I say, because this is Bob Marley and Ziggy and the Marley family, and I don't want to say anything to dishonor Ziggy's hard work that he's put in with this film. Um, but but Ziggy should have done more with Africa, and um, more. I would say more could have been done with Bob. Bob have a big story to tell. I know what, I think somebody else is gonna try to make another movie about Bob, because people are gonna be so disappointed, and maybe somebody else is gonna do it. I think. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking because maybe somebody else is going to do it. I think because I don't think this movie was actually it. It wasn't. From my perspective, I wanted to see more of Bob, more of the Bob that I know and that the world know and all of that. So that's kind of my take on it, and it's after one, and I'm gonna go to bed. But yeah, that's me. I bring my flag, and I was like waving my flag in the cinema. I was having a bloody party. I'm telling you. I'm like, I don't really care what anybody. I was like, one love, African leap. I was like singing the whole. I was singing word for word all the song and waving my flag and having a bloody party there in the film. So, and I was just drinking water and having a popcorn because I'm not trying to eat anything. I'm trying to freaking lose weight, so I'm not trying to eat anything. But I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed some of the scene kind of made me a bit emotional and whatever. But that's my perspective. So thank you, everyone, and go watch the movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Bye.